Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Private Pooper's Adventures. I am Caleb, also with the nickname of Private Pooper. But yeah, I went back to, uh, or yeah, I got back into one of my hobbies. I have two different types of hobbies. One is involving firearms, to where um, I try to teach people recoil management on like ARs, even though I really don't get that much. But some people are scared of them, so I tried to teach them that there's nothing to be afraid of. With the rifle, I try to tell them it's the people that have the rifle. Some people do not need those rifles. But I also, I like building them, so that's another part of the hobby. I like shooting them, so that's another part of the hobby. Yeah, I like handguns. Yeah, I'm just a firearms fanatic. I love learning about them, and so a lot of people don't know that is a hobby. But it's like when it comes to hobbies, there are some hobbies that are like safe-ish, to where you don't get hurt. There are hobbies where you get hurt, and then there are hobbies where you could possibly die. And Civil War reenacting is one of those hobbies where you could possibly die. Yesterday, we did a small skirmish in a town, a little podunk town called Lynn Creek. And whenever they said that we were going to do a little skirmish, I knew it was going to be like, kind of like, there was going to be some action. And I'm like, great. Metal on my heels and pavement. Here we go again. Yeah, it's not the first time that that's happened. Uh, it's been like 2 times before that event where we ended up having like a little battle, guess you could say, on pavement, and I ate the pavement. Yesterday, I really ate the pavement. Yesterday, whenever we were doing it, there wasn't supposed to be any casualties, but there ended up being casualties, and I tried finding the guy that was coordinating the group, or the event, not the group. I ended up taking over the reenactors, the Confederate reenactors. But, yeah, somebody didn't get the memo on the federal side. I was on Confederate, don't worry. I do both sides. But, yeah, I was sitting there, I was running across the street, and my metal on my heel decided to say, screw you, and it went out from underneath me. I, like, burned the crap out of my elbow. I burnt a little bit of my elbow. I have a nice little bruise on my side because I fell on this thing. But this thing is not really what hurt the most. It was what was inside it. This is what's known as a cartridge box tin. And it holds things like these. They're just blanks. But if you get close enough to when those blanks go off, you get hurt. And it's like with reenacting on the Civil War, you have infantry, you have cavalry, you have artillery, and I'll tell you what, doing artillery, and I think artillery is actually the one that could really kill you the most, or get you severely hurt. Cavalry is another one. With infantry, yeah, you can still get hurt. A lot of people they just find like cheap clothing and make the best of it. Uh, with me, I like finding the authenticity of doing the reenactment. I like trying to actually look the part. I have done campaigning events, and all the campaigners, they're like, oh, my uniform's great, my rifle's great, and yada, yada, yada. But yet, whenever they go and they sleep outside, whenever it comes to lightning and everything else, they do not like the elements, so they're like, screw it, and they pack up and they take off. So, even though I like trying being authentic, it's kind of hard to be with authentic reenactors whenever they're like, nope, I'm out. When there was the first sign of like really bad weather. But whenever it comes to the mainstream, where it's just like, if you've ever been to like a little tiny event and they sit there, they're the ones in the camps, like the tent set up and fires going. That's the mainstream. The authentic reenactors, they're usually off somewhere where they can't be seen because they're trying to do it authentically, and they're just taking the rough routes, marching along and doing what they do. But like I said, it's kind of hard to do that whenever they're like the cats. Whenever lightning strikes the first time, it's like, ah! And they just take off. But in all hobbies, they are not cheap. All hobbies have a cost, like price-wise and also life-wise. Like, that is a tent. It is 7 feet wide, 7 feet tall, and 9 feet long. And it is canvas, and whenever I came home, I pretty much just laid it out so it could dry out. Normally what we do is we take them and we set them up, like we reset up the tents so that way they can dry out. But here lately with the humidity and everything, it's been kind of difficult, and humidity and rain, it's been kind of difficult to do that, to take it outside, set it up again, and then go and let it dry out. It's really difficult. So I just brought it inside and laid it out. And it's taking up a lot of space. I need to get that put up as soon as possible. Another thing for Civil War reenacting is heat. If you are not prepared for the heat, you can either come down with like mostly like heat exhaustion or heat stroke, which are not good, because the majority of us, if we are wanting to do things authentically, we will wear wool, and that stuff is hot. And so people are like, well, it's wool, no duh. It's like, yeah, no duh. But there are several different types of wool. And the authentic reenactors, they're like, if you get the right type of wool, it's like, you won't be as hot. Yeah. So, yeah, that is what, that happened yesterday. And I'm teaching one person how to shoot firearms so that person can take the recoil not from just a rifle, but handle the handguns better. Yeah, it's like, if guns are kind of scary, like the loud bangs and booms and whatnot. We had a lady yesterday when the first shot went off. It took her by surprise and she jumped. I didn't get to see it, but the one of the ladies that I know that was in my reenacting group, she saw it and she told us about it, and I was just laughing because it's funny to me. When you've been in it long enough, it's just like you just find it. There are like funny moments, and there are like oh shit moments. Like whenever people don't get the memo and they start doing stuff that looks good, but it puts people in danger. Like, we are not actually having a live battle, everything is blanks. So we are trying to do things safely so that way people won't get hurt, but accidents do happen. And I was in charge of the Confederates yesterday, but there was one guy that just didn't want to do it. I really don't blame him. He's a Vietnam vet. He's done his time, but he was doing this as a hobby for recreation. And he was sitting out on a bench, and a guy from the federal side on cavalry came up. Like, he went around us, and he came up, and I was behind this trash bin trying to use it as a barricade. But I was sitting there, I was reloading, and all of a sudden I saw that horse pop up, and I'm like, oh shit, I hope somebody's over there to kind of get that thing under control, because there was people over there. And I was in charge of the Confederates on that point, like the Confederate infantry, the part where the Confederates would go out, and I was trying to give them commands, but they were like, nope, too hot, so they just stayed back, while me and one other guy that was actually in war pushed forward. And yeah, that event happened, and there will be more events to come. I was actually wanting to take I was wanting to do a video while I was there to kind of let you guys see a little bit of what mostly what the tent looks like whenever it gets set up, and what my uniform looked like and everything. But I didn't bring the tripod, so yeah, that got left out. And oh, another thing, I want to thank everybody who watched that one short. That was actually the only video in this channel that got the most views. It was entertaining. And my other videos are just about me like rambling and stuff. A lot of people really don't find them interesting, but that one was funny, and that is who I am. So if you subscribe to the channel and you put up with my bullshit and my rambling, then you will probably get to see some funny stuff. But if you don't, then you will miss out. So if you want to see more content, whether it be me talking or whether it have some funny stuff going on, please subscribe to the channel, like the video if you like it, and hit the notification bell if you have subscribed or if you don't subscribe. But mostly, anyways, just hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when the next video comes up. And until then, Alpha Mike Foxtrot.